Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. This morning, we have 3 dockets. We have a pretrial conference docket, a trial docket, and an announcement docket. When I call your name, would you please come before the bench with your attorney? First case is cause number 23CCCR 0394, case of style of state of Texas versus Colby Bryce Smith.
Just a question. Thank you.
Mr. Smith, your full name is Colby Bryce Smith?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Smith, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Smith?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Well, that's good. Mr. Smith, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Glenn Crocker. Attorney Crocker, how are you doing?
Well, Judge, thank you.
And Mr. Crocker, do you waive a record in Mr. Smith's case?
We certainly do, Your Honor.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how you doing?
Doing well, Judge, and yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Smith, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Colby Bryce Smith, on or about March 3rd of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Mr. Smith, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, Mr. Smith, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials CS on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The next box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I have another document on paper. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Stay up for stage 1.
Any objections?
No objection, stage 1.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Crocker, you've advised and counseled Mr. Smith. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Absolutely not.
Mr. Smith, your attorney, Mr. Crocker, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For pleading guilty, the state has offered 6 months deferred probation with a $300 fine and 40 hours community service.
What's the court cost in this case?
270.
Okay, Mr. Smith, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 months probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 and court costs of $277. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $208 a month. Will you be able to pay the $208 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. And you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of just probation. Now, Mr. Smith, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Smith, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Crocker, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Smith, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand next to the bailiff, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you're finished following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And you're free to go as well, Mr. Crocker. You have a blessed day as well.
Right now, one.
You don't have no more
Yes,
breaks.
sir.
Nothing. Oh.
Okay. Which one of your cases?
Dorothy Galloway.
Okay, this is cause number 23CCR or 2340. Case is style of state of Texas versus Dorothy Mae Galloway. Could y'all check to see if she has some bond conditions? Dorothy Mae Galloway. Miss Galloway, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Miss Galloway? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Miss Galloway, you're representing your case by your attorney. Attorney Charles Rojas, Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Rojas, what is your announcement?
Judge, Ms. Galloway, has a felony down the hall. It's come out of the same set of circumstances as this case. The offer of this case is to dismiss for forfeiture, but the state's office doesn't want to do that until the felony moves, because it's not.
I wouldn't want a dismissal down here to mess with the case.
So what did you say?
I was just saying I wouldn't want a dismissal down here to mess with the case over there is my concern.
Let me do this here. Take your hand off there, please. Let me look at, it's on announcement. I'll get. Rojas, yes, Galloway. In this case, it's 210 days old. What's the status of the felony case? Do we know?
She went to court this morning and it got reset until,
June, I mean July first, again, if I don't want us to get a lawyer,
So you don't have an attorney down there?
not yet.
Okay. I don't see anybody.
I put it in.
Ms. Galloway, I need to give you some bond conditions. Could you hand this to Ms. Galloway? I'll go over these bond conditions with her. Ms. Galloway, your attorney just handed you a document that's titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. Do you see that document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Galloway, I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. And it states, following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named hearing are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3 does not apply. Condition number 4 does not apply. Because that only applies in the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. However, condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 states as follows. Defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. Now, Ms. Galloway, do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Galloway, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in a Jefferson County jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what day is our felony case?
July
July 1st.
July 1st.
Yes,
And
sir.
Mr. Rojas, you want the case set on the same day?
That'd be fine, Judge.
Okay.
I don't know if anything's gonna happen on July 1st, but.
Well, but we've already set it on, do you work?
Yes, sir.
But if we set it on different days, you'll have to keep taking days off from a job. I mean,
I'm coming from
If you-
Houston.
okay, she gonna be here anyway, so. She have to come from Houston, okay. And so, Ms. Galloway, your case will be reset with your felony case on, July 1st, 2024. Your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Please stand from the court. Do we have anybody else ready?
I find if it's not here, Judge, I haven't heard from him. I want to call him, do a forfeiture. We can maybe get that one taken care of.
Okay. Dorothy Galloway. His client is right under this, Francisco Martinez.
He should be logged in on Zoom. He's trying to. anyway.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to,
No, the other one that I'm looking for is Medina Orta, Abel Medina Orta.
there you have Orta, you have Ramos.
Ramos is gonna be a plea.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on Zoom. No, not yet. He's trying to log on.
Somebody's, is that your client right there?
Yeah, it's,
Okay. Orta, is that
no,
Orta?
that's Martinez.
Martinez? Okay, this is cause number M331822, case of style of state of Texas versus Francisco Martinez. Mr. Martinez is appearing via Zoom. I don't think he can hear us because his audio isn't connected. He said he can hear me, but I can't hear him.
We can't hear him.
It says connecting.
Okay, now, Mr. Rojas, what is your announcement in Mr. Martinez's case?
Judge, if we can set him onto a plea doc, we have an offer that we're gonna take, and I know he's got a family member that was recently, he's having to stay home and take care of a family member who was in the hospital. So maybe we can do about 3 weeks or a month. That'll give him time to get the family member taken care of. We complete him.
Okay, give us a reset no more than 30 days.
July 8th.
And it's gonna reset it July 8th, and it's gonna be reset for a plea.
Yes, sir.
And, Mr. Martinez, you need to be in court on that day, July 8th, 2024 at 9 AM. You need to be
Yes,
here in
sir.
person. Okay, so your attorney's
Yes,
gonna
sir.
reset, once you get your reset, well, your attorney gets your reset and stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, could you repeat all that one more time? I couldn't hear the audio at first.
Okay,
This is my
your
first
case
time.
is reset to July 8th of 2024. You need to be here in person on that day for a plea. And
sir.
stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will be given notice of your reset. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next case is called, which one is a plea?
Ramos?
Ramos, okay. Next case is cause number M333760, case of style of the state of Texas versus Abel Medina Arthur. Abel Medina Arthur was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m. Abel Medina Arthur's name was called at the courthouse door by the court bailiff. He did not answer. He has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 10:04 a.m. on today's date of June 3rd of 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Abel Medina Arthur at the courthouse door?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Arthur's name was just called again at the courthouse door, not answered. A reasonable time is passed to give Mr. Abel Medina Arthur an opportunity to appear in court. If it's not appear in court, state, do you have a motion?
Same motion for all forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Abel Medina's Arthur bond will be forfeited and warrant should be first arrest and cause number M333-760. Okay. Okay. Next case is cause number 23CC 0869. Case of style of state of Texas versus Sam Edward Allen.
We're ready.
Court is in session and cause number 23CCCR 0869. Case of style of state of Texas versus Sam Edward Allen. Mr. Allen, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Allen, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Allen, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Allen, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Allen?
Okay.
That's good. Mr. Allen, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Kevin Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
Fine.
And Mr. Lane, do you waive a record in Mr. Allen's case?
We do.
Mr. Allen, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Allen, it alleges that you, Sam Edward Allen, on or about March 31st of 2023, while you are operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, state, are you abandoning an enhancement paragraph?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Allen, the state is abandoning an enhancement paragraph, and what that means is you will be charged with a lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated first, which is a Class B misdemeanor. Do you understand that? Okay. Now, Mr. Allen, should a Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about March 31st of 2023, while you operated a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? And Mr. Allen, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Allen, do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are two sets of initials. One set of initials is SA, and the other set of initials KSL. Did you place your initials SA on this document? On the line that's next to the box that's checked guilty. On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Okay.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. First box says check states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah.
The second box says check states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Allen, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Lane, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Allen, are you a citizen of the United States?
Stay up for stage 1.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Lane, you advised in counsel, Mr. Allen, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Allen, your attorney, Mr. Lane, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allen, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For pleading guilty, the state has offered 180 days probated over 2 years with a $1,200 fine, 80 hours community service, the installation of an interlock device, and DWI standard conditions of probation.
What's the court cost? Okay. Well, Mr. Allen, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 2 years. During the 2-year probationary period, you will be required to pay a DPS fine of $100, standard fine of $1,200. You'll be required to pay court costs of $392. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month. And you'll be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the police. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $152 a month. Will you be able to pay the $152 each month? You will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you want to operate. You will be required to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of probation. You will be required to attend and complete a DW education class, and you'll be required to have an alcohol assessment. Mr. Allen, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Allen, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Allen, this will conclude your case. Please stand in front of the court coordinator. You're gonna follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you're finished following her directions, you're free to go. You have a blessed day, and you're free to go as well. Mr. Landon, you have a blessed day also.
Thank you.
Would,
Sir,
so you're saying Barry,
yes, sir, he's here. He just.
Devondrick Barry? Please come forward. Mr. Barry, you had a felony case set today?
Yes, sir.
And was I understanding that your felony case was reset, state?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are these, two offenses,
Let me check.
rather than the same one offense?
Yes.
Bondrick? Yep.
Yeah, Devondrick Barry.
I thought I heard you say. Yes. Judge Odyssey is breaking down on me.
Oh,
It's.
oh, this battery is running low. This thing is not charged. I gotta close it, yeah.
Right now.
Guess it didn't charge.
I'm gonna have to log out of Odyssey and log back in, Judge.
They need to recharge. Miss Mosby, you put this back in there, get charged. I'm gonna need another. Okay, do we need to charge that one?
Is the code number on the very,
For the battery, for the tablet?
I'll put it in your computer. You have on
What do you, that's for the tablet. The tablet doesn't charge up like that. Okay.
Judge, just to confirm, is the cause 1142 at the end?
Barry, 1142, yes.
Okay, it is out of the same events. He has the felony in front for as well.
Okay, did they give you a reset date?
Yes, sir.
What is the date?
July 6th.
Do you have your paperwork?
Just my voice.
Yeah, we're gonna check and see if it's on the system.
Yes, sir.
I can check what happened with that. No, it's not okay. I don't think they've corrected it yet, Judge. It's still showing the announcement 6-3.
What date is July 6th? Is that
You know what, it's July 8th. For sure. July 8th.
you say it's July 8th?
Right, but he said.
That's Monday.
Okay, because the 6th was a Saturday, right?
That's a Monday.
Okay.
Six is a Friday.
Right.
Thursday.
Friday, Saturday.
But you're not, it's a Saturday.
So it's July, so it's gonna be reset to July 8th
Yes, sir.
of 2024. Mr. Barry, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. You're gonna get your reset from our four corner. I don't have a tablet. Okay,
Just have one announcement. I'm sorry, I have two announcements, whenever the court's ready.
okay, let's see.
Yes.
Okay. You're on the pre-trial conference, okay. Okay, who do you have?
Mr. Sampson, Stephen Sampson.
Stephen Anthony Sampson Jr., cause number M331406. Sampson, your full name is Stephen Anthony Sampson Jr.?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Sampson?
Very well, yourself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Sampson. You're representing your case by your attorney Dusty Gilmore. Attorney Gilmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Gilmore. What is your announcement in Mr. Sampson's case?
Your Honor, we've reached an agreement in this case, and we are requesting the court to set this for a plea next week on Monday, the 10th, if possible.
Okay, give us a reset.
I'm sorry, who are we?
Monday the tenth, this is Stephen Anthony Sampson on page 1 of the pretrial conference docket.
Okay, which doctor we took it on?
They on a plea docket, he's pleading in 1 week,
Oh, one week.
yes, from the day,
Y'all follow it, right?
the 10th.
Y'all follow that, right?
So this case will be reset to June 10th, 2024. Mr. Sampson, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day, okay?
Oh, I guess. Judge, my other one was Eric Forehand.
That's the gentleman who was supposed to appear in person. He said you told him to appear by Zoom.
Well, he called me and said he couldn't make it. He's in Mississippi at work.
He
It is
didn't
a
tell me.
plea.
He told me he called you this morning and you told him not to, that he can appear via Zoom. He said he was on a shutdown.
Yeah, he's in Mississippi.
That's all well, he didn't say nothing about Mississippi.
Well, I do know for a fact that he's at a refinery in Mississippi. We have an agreement. It is a plea. If the court would entertain it, we would like to do the plea in 2 weeks. On Monday in 2 weeks. He can travel to Texas on that date.
I think the last time we was set, he was supposed to travel here today. Because that's, I mean, when you said y'all picked the date, I didn't.
I understand. I think his
And then-
concern was if he had drove here today, he would have been terminated, I believe.
Okay.
At the refinery.
But you know, it's been the court's rule probably since Judge Manus was the judge here. I know it was the ruling judge for Celsius. You can announce ahead of time. You know, you didn't have to wait till a day to make that announcement. That announcement could have been made last week.
Right.
I-
I just was informed though that
Right.
when he would leave work. But it is a resolution. We're gonna resolve the case at his next appearance.
Okay, so he's gonna reappear by Zoom?
No, in 2 weeks, he could be here in person.
No, I'm saying today.
Oh,
He was on Zoom earlier.
I'm not sure where.
And he said that he was supposed to call you. He told me, we informed him that he needed to contact his attorney. And assumed that he had contacted you. He may have contacted your office. I can give you some time to,
You want him to log back on though?
right.
Okay.
8 minutes.
I'm messaging him.
Okay, you could have a seat, yes. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Is this the one that state filed a motion for the change?
That's correct, Your Honor. The few law enforcement witnesses.
Did you get it?
Do the training.
Did you get a copy of this motion? Wait up. Oh, it's right here.
I think, Mr. Kendall emailed me.
Okay. Were you opposed to the motion?
I think it's the first, right?
That it's my first on this case.
Well, right, but you're talking about the states first, and so I don't know. Let me see.
I'm not.
Let me see. Let me see where. Let me see. This is Mr. whoever's talking in the back, they need to be outside. They're in the hall by the door. Tell them to go outside.
Go outside.
You need to walk over there and tell them that.
No, they just left them talking to me right there.
Okay. Get ready. Let's see. That's the only one I see.
So who's that first? I'm not gonna look at that first.
Yeah, that's the only one I see. Yeah, that's the only one I see. Condition.
She was just recently put on the trial docket, if I recall correctly.
Oh, it was, okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna reset Mr. Guidry. We'll keep him on the trial docket, is that correct? Okay, Mr. Guidry, the case is going to be reset. We'll be placed on the trial docket again. Your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand over here next to your attorney. Okay,
They're gonna be on the trial docket too?
yes,
Okay.
this, yeah. Okay, this is cause number 23 CCCR 2575, case of style, state of Texas versus Daniel Delafuente Jr. And also cause number M331630. Both these cases on the pretrial conference docket. Mr. Daniel Delafuente Jr., is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Delafuente, you're represented in your case, or your cases, by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing?
Morning, Your Honor.
State is represented in this case, in these cases by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. Delafuente's cases?
Your Honor, I believe we have a resolution to this case. It was a restitution.
Is that correct?
I submitted a dismissal for one of the cases, not the trespass, for the accident, based on payment of restitution.
I get my tab
Trespass
back.
hasn't dealt yet.
Okay. That's all I think. It should have a little bit. Put this. Tablet to palm, right?
That's okay, I'll give them a copy. You bring them.
It's 6-3. Okay, Mr. Della Fuente, and cause number M 331-630. I have before me a motion to dismiss that case. Is that correct, State?
Yes.
And I'm signing this dismissal. Okay, Mr. Della Fuente, I just signed a dismissal on cause number M 331-630. And State, what are we doing on clause number 23 CCCR or 2575?
I'm waiting on the defense to let me know what they would like to do with the case. We're ready.
This is on the pretrial conference.
Right.
Your Honor, we can be ready. I've just misunderstood about the terms of the restitution, but we can be ready for the criminal transference.
Okay, this is not set on the trial document.
Well, we can fit that.
I think, let's see, it's set on the pretrial conference document. You want to reset it for trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, going to reset this case for trial. Now, we do know that by the time this trial come up, Ms. Porter is going to be in another group. So we're not gonna, so whoever, we just need to be prepared for trial.
It'll be like the extension.
Okay. Okay, give us a reset date for trial on Daniel Della Fuente on the criminal trespass case, clause number 23 CCCR 2575. Okay, this case will be reset for trial July 29th. Mr. Della Fuente, your attorney will be given notice of your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day. And I thank Mr. Matuska, these were your only two cases? Or do you have another
Yes, sir,
case?
Brian.
So another docket? Okay. Yes, Jessica Elise Brown. Ms. Brown, your full name is Jessica Elise Brown. How are you doing, Ms. Brown? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Brown, you represented your case by your attorney, Attorney Ron Matuska. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Ms. Brown's case?
Your Honor, I told Ms. Brown last time I would get her discovery, and we have the online discovery, but we do not have the media date yet, so I was waiting on it.
Do we know how long it might take to get that? State? Say you don't
I
have
don't have
the
the date on when it'll be ready, Your Honor.
Okay, just give him a standard reset. To get his discovery. July 29th. Okay, this case will be reset July 29th, 2024. For announcement, Mr. Matuska, you can get your reset. And Ms. Brown, you can get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you're free to go.
Thank you.
And you have a blessed day, Mr. Matuska, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Did you believe, Mr. Forehand?
Oh, thank Okay. This is cause number 23 CCC 0374. Case of style of state of Texas versus Eric Lee Forehand. Mr. Forehand is appearing via Zoom. Okay, Mr. Forehand is appearing via Zoom. His attorney in this case is in court, is Mr. Dustin Galmore. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Forehand, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Forehand, earlier, you had appeared via Zoom. Court, you informed the court that, you had talked to your attorney who told you to appear via Zoom, even though the document said appear in person. Talk to the state. State, do you have any objections with regards to him appearing, via Zoom? I think this case was supposed to be a plea.
Yes, Your Honor. And as far as appearing today by Zoom, I have no objections, but the defendant needs to appear in person in the future. And if the defendant does not appear in person at the future court date, the state will be revoking their offer and it will be going on.
Okay. Now, Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement?
Judge, we're asking for the court to reset Mr. Forehand to June 17, which is exactly 2 weeks from today, for a plea.
Okay. We're gonna reset him to June 17th. Mr. Forehand, he's the first case on the pretrial conference docket. And state, you have any objections?
Other than what was said previously, Your Honor, no.
Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Forehand, you need to be here in person.
Yes, sir.
In this case, it's set for a plea on June 17th of 2024. Your attorney will be given notice of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Galmore, I think this is your last case.
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now you welcome.
And it was June 17th.
Yes. Court is back in session, and this is cause number 23 CCCR 1724. Case is style of State of Texas versus Jalen Rashawn White. Mr. White, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. White, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. White?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. White, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Jack Lawrence. Attorney Lawrence, how are you doing?
Just fine, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Lawrence, do you waive the record in Mr. White's case?
Yes, we waive the
Mr. White, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet is filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Jalen Rashawn White, on or about July 21st of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. White, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes,
And to this charge, Mr. White, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
yes.
Okay, I think on this paperwork, it says no.
No contest, Your Honor.
Okay.
He'll plead no contest.
Okay, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Mr. White, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, excuse me, on page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's check nolo contendere, which means no contest, as you place your initials on this document.
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Lawrence went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. White, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State,
Yeah, for stage one.
state is offering states exhibit number 1. Mr. Lawrence, do you have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Lawrence, you revised and counseled Mr. White. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Not at all, Your Honor. He's a working man.
Okay. Now, Mr. White, your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement in this case?
For defendant's plea, the state is offered 30 days probation over 1 year with a $200 fine, 2 days jail credit to be assessed towards that fine, and 40 hours community service.
What is the court cost? The court cost, 277. Okay. Let's see. This is, Okay. Mr. White, the status offering that you served is that 30 days in Jefferson County Jail, however, the 30 days will be probated for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a $200 fine. However, you will be given credit, 2 days credit toward that fine, which basically means the fine will be zero with the 2 days credit, because the 2 days that you spent in jail has already paid off the fine of $200.
Yeah.
You'll also be required to pay court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month is $131 a month. Will you be able to pay the $131 each month?
Yes.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll be given 2 days credit toward the fine of $200, which basically means you got $100 credit per day. That adds up to $200. So you take 200 from 200, that's leaves you zero. All right. Now, do you understand the states? You'll also be required to adhere to the understand the terms and conditions of this probation. Do you understand the state's offer?
Yeah.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yeah.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you entered into with the state. Mr. White, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator, and you'll follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff in this case, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Uh, 23 CCCR 1306, case of Style of State of Texas versus Brett Lawrence Folsom. He's here. I think he's in drug court. Okay. Next case is cause number.
I can have him come back over here once we finish. I'll have him.
Okay. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 1542. Case of Style of State of Texas versus Terrence Eugene Ross. He's in drug. It's felony court too.
Second, we just finished that, so he needs to-
Keep running felony cases.
He got deferred. He was deferred.
Okay, is he, okay, next case is cause number 23 CCCR
He
1908.
was dismissed.
The case is Style of State of Texas versus Mitchell Mark Warner.
He's present, Your Honor. And also, that case, he has.
Mr. Warner, you need to come up.
He has pending felonies also.
Understand.
Get it reset concurrently with those.
So yeah, Mr. Warner, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Warner, I understand that you have a felony case
actually multiple.
Okay, it's felony, but they were reset today, is that correct?
They haven't been reset, they weren't set today, some of them were set, this mystery was set today.
I see it's set on
it
August the
set?
12th, 2024.
Right, for the.
So you want the misdemeanor set on that
Yes.
same day? Okay, Mr. Warner, your misdemeanor case will be set on the same day that your felony case on that day. You need to appear first here. Let the bailiff know that you're here on that day. Go take care of your felony case. When you finish, you come back here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We need to give Mr. Warner his reset for August the 12th, 2024. He's on page 3,
12 to 26.
August 12th.
Well, okay. I'll just-
Yeah. Yes, August the 12th, 2024. On he's on page 3 of the announcement docket.
Okay.
Next case. Some JP reductions. Next case is Isaiah Jermaine Collins, cause number M332950. Okay, now, Mr. Collins, how are you doing? Okay, now, Mr. Collins, you're representing your case by your attorney, Wright Kimler. Now, Mr. Kimler, I see on this document says the case was reset for a JP reduction.
I don't know.
You didn't know where to go.
The paper that he wrote it on, I don't got it on the paper he wrote it from my cousin, but you know,
All right, have a seat, let me see if we can figure it out.
I'm waiting to go get, I got the money, I just don't know where to
All
go.
right, have a seat.
Precinct one.
Downstairs?
Yeah,
You just need to go downstairs.
Way down there.
Or just tell him where to go. Precinct 1
Have a
is,
seat.
it's either is it, which one is that, Dollinger? I mean, Doyle?
Collins. This-
Is that Doyle or
Depends
Collins?
on the place.
He said place, which one? Place 1 or 2?
2 is Doyle.
Doyle, so he needs to go to Judge Doyle.
The piece Doyle.
Yeah, well, she can tell him where to go. Okay, next case is cause number M330825. You already have one. Okay. Okay. Next, the case is styled State of Texas versus Xavier James Ozan. Mr. Ozan? He was supposed to do a JP reduction too.
I think that was his cousin that he was talking.
And if he hasn't paid, then
You see here?
I'm not sure.
Xavier James Ozan?
If he paid, did he bring the receipt? Sorry? No, you
I don't have any-
Where was he supposed to pay?
Same.
Do you know?
Same place, precinct 1, place 2.
I don't see him here.
I wonder if he paid. He might have paid.
Let me check.
So that's place 2, okay. Is that it? Okay, next case is cause number 23CCCR 0744. Case is style of State of Texas versus Kiana LaShawn Bailey. Is that her?
Yes.
Oh, okay. State's motion for continuous training. Okay, what are we doing on this one? This is an assault.
Okay, state has the complaint witness, Your Honor, but it's the state's understanding that we don't have a reporter or a panel this week.
Okay,
So state,
I mean, y'all still moving forward on it?
yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So this case is gonna be, I see a felony dismissed, okay.
She doesn't have a phone.
No, I was looking at the next 2 cases. And so these cases are gonna be reset on our trial docket. Okay? All right, your attorney's gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. Brandon Demond Everett,
Could you do a video on this? Yeah, video. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Ms. Everett, how are you doing?
It's just-
That's good.
Fire, security.
Okay, Mr. Andrew, you, I think
Ready.
this is Mr. So, we gotta,
And
this one, he had a previous felony that was dismissed.
It was, I'm waiting to see if, I've made an offer of dismissal if the defense can present to me the prescription. So this is that case.
you gave it to him, this is for the Xanax and for the coke. See if you can get prescription for the Xanax. Okay.
Okay, so we just need to reset it, to be dismissed, on proof of,
It's Xanax and coke.
so we just need to, how long is it gonna take him to get that? I don't know.
Thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, no, baby.
All right, we'll leave it on trial. Okay. All right.
Okay, we wanna leave it on the trial doc?
You're on trial.
This is, Everett,
July 29th.
July 29th.
Right. You don't want to copy.
All right, there you go. All right,
Okay.
It's all on one. I just did it.
And that's gonna be both of his cases.
Oh, Jimmy.
No, they want it, it's gonna be on the trial docket.
Okay. So it'll be July 29th.
And next case, M 334 070, case of style, the state of Texas versus Travis Aaron Foray,
Now, for
resisting arrest search. Whose case is the prosecutor on that?
I'm here.
ready.
What are you doing on this one?
We're ready now whenever we get it. For them.
Okay, so we need to reset it. It's gonna be on July 29th, 2024.
It'll be Haley.
Okay,
Should be reset.
Shane Kendrick. And Mr. Kendrick. Hey, Mr. Kendrick. Reset by Mr. Kimler, and your announcement is the same.
Ready.
State on that. Okay, so the 29th of 2024. You can get your reset from your attorney. Next case is cause number M 331 686. Andrew Stevens Archie,
Richie.
Richie. And your announcement on, it was a medical excuse. It's a bench trial. Okay, did you get him to, sign that waiver? Jury trial? Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M331686, case of style of state of Texas versus Andrew Stevens Ritchie. Mr. Ritchie, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ritchie, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ritchie, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ritchie, you may put your hand down. Again, how are you doing, Mr. Ritchie?
Good.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Ritchie, you're representing your case by your attorney, Ryan Kimler. Attorney Kimler, do you waive a record in this case?
So wait,
Mr. Kimler, Mr. Ritchie, and Ms. Simmons, I have before me a document that is titled Waiver of Jury Trial, and it is signed by all parties. Is that correct?
that's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, state, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, are you ready?
Ready?
Ms. Simmons, would you like to read the information?
Yes, Your Honor. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents into the County Court at Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Andrew Stevens Ritchie, hereafter styled the defendant heretofore on or about February 5th of 2022, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to another, namely Heather Nicole Long. Hereafter styled the complainant by striking complainant's face with his hand, and at the time of said assault, complainant was a person with whom defendant had a dating relationship. Against the peace and dignity of the state, signed by the Assistant Criminal District Attorney.
Mr. Ritchie, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay. State, would you like to have an open statement?
State waives opening.
Defense?
Wait, open.
Okay. Ms. Simmons, you may call your first witness.
State calls Heather Long.
Heather Long.
Yes, Your Honor.
Heather Long. Heather Long. Heather's right, John.
Okay. State, would you like to call your next witness?
State has no further witnesses, but state would like to make a statement at this time.
Okay, you may make your statement.
The state has contacted Heather Long multiple times. It is at this point, she doesn't wish to cooperate. She doesn't wish to prosecute further in this case, and she has also come up to sign a non-prosecution affidavit.
Okay. Defense?
Your Honor, this time.
Well, hold on before
State
that.
rest.
State rest? Okay, you may go on.
Your Honor, this time, defense moves for an instructed verdict and not guilty.
Okay, that motion will be granted. Mr. Ritchie, you've been acquitted of these charges. Your attorney will be given a copy of the judgment of acquittal. Once you get your copy of the judgment, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Next case is cause number 23CCCR 0002, case of style of the state of Texas versus Paris Williams. Paris Williams.
And Mr. Ross is president court, Your Honor. He called it earlier. He was the felony court. He's president now. Terrence Ross.
Okay.
Kendrick, was it for trial July 29th?
Yes.
Ms. Kendrick?
Okay. This is okay, we have two cases, cause numbers 23CCCR 0002 and cause number 23CCCR 1324. Both cases are South State of Texas versus Paris Williams. Ms. Williams, is that your full name? Okay, how are you doing, Ms. Williams? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Williams, you represented in your case by your cases by your attorney, right, Kimler. Attorney Kimler, what's your announcement?
Ready?
Say,
That's right, Your Honor.
okay, so we're gonna reset these for trial on July 29, 2024. Ms. Williams, you can get your recess from your attorney. Once you get your recess from your attorney, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Mr. Kimler, you stay, is that,
You said Ross.
is it?
What did you say?
He took 3 years to term, but
You said Ross?
he has to do 2 weekends in jail as a condition of probation. What was his name?
You said Ross?
Ross is president.
Oh, that's our.
You called that for Mr. Ross, correct?
I think that did, that was previously.
What docket is he on, Judge?
Announcement. on page 2. Well, my was page 2. Yeah, so he's here. Now, state, what is, well, defense, what is your
I
announcement?
was gonna reset it, Your Honor, give the state a chance to look at it. They're contemplating dismissing. I don't want to speak out of turn, but we're asking it to be dismissed since he did take 3 years to burn on the.
State.
It has to be 2 weeks in jail as a condition of probation.
Okay,
It is Mr. Kubel's case, so I'll just have to confirm with him before.
oh, there he is right there.
Right here. Ms. Williams?
No.
No.
Mr. Ross.
He took 3 deferred and he has to do 2 weekends in jail. You want to talk to Ashley? That was a felony from the security.
Yeah, it won't take too long.
All right, have a seat. We'll just have to see if we get this.
Okay.
All right,
And now there's you, what about Brett Folsom?
he's over drug court.
Okay, and you had another,
That was Ross probably the truth.
No, you have another one, he's outside.
Who?
not Ozan, huh? Is it
Yes,
Xavier Ozan?
and your other guys out there.
Did they pay?
Ozan is the JP, okay.
We're still working on Mr.
Yeah, we don't have a report date yet.
Could ask the judge after the meeting.
Yeah.
Judge, could
What, let's see,
I just want to know if I can be.
what cases? That's, Michael Barton?
Yes, sir, they're still dealing with this felony.
Do we know what? Is it, so they hadn't called it yet?
As we don't know.
We actually received a text on that, Your Honor, from the building prosecutor. He pled guilty and he's getting sentenced to 5 TDC. So
Okay,
we'll need to
so-
look at the misdemeanor.
So we might be able to take care of that today.
She just put somebody in there.
It was two.
Oh, is he
females.
in our custody?
It was two females.
Yes, he's in your custody. Okay, they may dispose of it today. This is cause number M 331-902, case of style of state of Texas versus Armando Avara. Mr. Avara, is that your full name? Yes, sir. Mr. Avara, how are you doing?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Avara, you representing the case by your attorney, Tom Kelly. Attorney Kelly, how are you doing?
Just fine, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Kelly, what is your announcement? And Mr. Avara?
Judge, we're on the trial docket in the criminal district court today, but we're set pretty far down the list. I'm number one in the 252nd and it's a go. So really what I'm waiting for is for the felony to be reset. That just hadn't happened yet today.
Oh, he has now the felony that he has on this case is set for trial, but it's further down the list?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I say far down the list. We're number three. I'm number one in the 252nd and it's going.
All right, so,
We're just gonna,
and we don't have a reset date, so Mr.
I'll have it.
Alvaro, your case is going to be reset on the on the same date of your felony case. We don't have that date yet. The court coordinator is gonna constantly check the computer. Once we get a date, we're gonna send notice to your attorney advisement and stay in contact with your attorney advisement. Just be mindful that the day that your felony case is set, you also will have a misdemeanor. You have to make an appearance here first and then go to the felony case court and then come back here. Yes, sir. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
this case is gonna be reset with your felony. Okay, you're free to go? Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Okay, just hold on a minute.
Brandon Barnes.
And Brandon Keith Barnhart. This docket is on a pretrial conference docket. Mr. Barnhart, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
That's good. Now, Mr. Barnhart, you represent any case by your attorney Tom Kelly. Mr. Kelly, the announcement on this case?
Judge, I think we may get to a resolution, but I think it's also time to get to your trial document.
Okay, we're gonna reset it to the trial. Okay, give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be set for trial on July 29th. Mr. Barnhart, your attorney is gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day, and I thank Mr. Kelly. This is your last case.
Yes.
You're free to go and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Once you get your reset.
Thanks, sir.
Your Honor. Ms. Beatty, she pled to 5 felonies this morning, so at that, we're dismissing all 6 misdemeanors.
Okay, Ms. Beatty. Okay.
So I'll just-
Okay, to be dismissed. Okay. Justin Jamal Jones. This is cause number 23-CCCR 1278. Case of style of state of Texas versus Justin Jamal Jones. Mr. Jones, is that your full name? Okay, Mr. Jones, see here that your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
Still in the process of waiting. Think you can give me a little bit more time?
Well, I'm looking at this thing. We've reset this case. November 14, 2023, January 31st, 2024, and April 15 to 2024. So you say you're in the process of looking. Well, you have 3 options, and you accepted the first option to hire your own attorney. And basically, when you accept that option, you basically said that you had enough money to hire an attorney. And so we at this point, we're gonna reset your case. We're gonna put it on we're gonna proceed on this case. Did you put this here? No, she needs this thing's getting ready to go out on me. Yes. Here you go.
They do that.
Yeah, but I don't need another one right now. Okay, so we're not giving you any more resets. Okay. We're gonna put your case in the case with the regular cases. You have an option, you can apply for a court appointed attorney if you cannot afford one, or you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. We just keep going around the same thing. You keep coming before the court saying the same thing. It don't take long to look for an attorney. There are attorneys all around the courthouse, and they're all in the phone book on the internet as well.
So, see what the route that I need to take when it comes to finding me the right time.
Well, one thing you have to do, attorneys, most of them give free consultations. You just need to sit down. And now, even with the technology, you don't even have to go to their office. They'll do FaceTime or they'll Zoom and they interview you. So I don't know, you're saying you're just learning the route.
I've been going to some people, but I couldn't afford their praise. I'm pretty sure I could find somebody that can do my praise.
Okay, well, at this point, like I said, your case is we're gonna be just put in the hopper with the standard cases. Okay, because you're prolonging this case. This case is not gonna continue to be prolonged. It has to go to trial. I mean, go to a point to where we get a resolution. I'm looking at the case. The case, let's see. Case is 304 days old. Actually, it was the offense occurred on June 8th of 2023, which in 5 days will be 1 year. Okay, so we're not, like I said, we're just gonna put it in the system with the regular cases. That means that if you don't have an attorney, you'll be representing yourself. If you don't want to hire an attorney, if you want to see if you qualify for court appointed attorney, at this point, the case is not going to just sit around. This case has been going on for some time.
And how long would it take to do that process you just
Oh,
saying?
no, we're just going to give you we're going to give them a standard reset. At this point, we're not resetting you and if you hire an attorney in between that time, you still can do that. Okay. But at this point, this case is moving forward. All right, give us a reset date. Yeah, we can put on a free trial. July 15th. Okay. Once you get your case, once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. All right. Next case is cause number 23CCCR 2436. Josie Quinnell Bobino. Yeah, Ms. Bobino, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Ms. Bobino, your case is reset to give you an opportunity to hire. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I think the last time you was here, you said you was gonna have an attorney, right?
Yeah, but my dad said we can't afford it, so I have to get a point of finance.
Okay, we're gonna give you some paperwork. Just have a seat in the gallery. They'll give you that paperwork to fill out. You're gonna get a judge's affidavit, judge's explanation of rights of defense without an attorney, and an affidavit of indigence to see if you qualify for a court appointed attorney.
Yes.
All right. Just have a seat. You can go back and have a seat where you're sitting. We need to get a bailiff to give her the paperwork. Next case. Is that Mr. Ross? Okay, wait, they did.
I was unable to reach Mr. Kimler. The only information that I need is
How many cases did he have?
He had two. He pled to one. I just need to know which one.
Is it in the computer?
Not yet, the last I checked.
Did you have some paperwork from your court? He got his paperwork right here. Won't you, come forward? You could, show him your paperwork. Ms. Mosby, we need to get, we need to give Ms. Bobineau judge's explanation of rights of defense of one attorney and the affidavit of indigence.
Thank you very much. That's all I need.
Okay.
All right, just go have a seat. Your case is gonna be dismissed once you get once I sign the dismissal, we're gonna ask you to come back up and get a copy from the court coordinator. Once you get a copy from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. That's Mr. Ross. That's Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross.
Thank you, sir. Dismissal.
Okay, I need my tablet is over, it's charging.
Well, don't worry about it. We got some more to go.
Yeah, that door is locked, sir. Okay, we need to get Mr. Pierre. This is cause number 23CCCR 1674, case of style of state of Texas versus Jean Pierre, or Jean Pierre. Mr. Pierre, is, on the telephone. Mr. Pierre, how are you doing? I'm okay. Okay, now, Mr. Pierre, we have well, your attorney, Mr. Takash is not present. However, standing in for Mr. Takash is Attorney Don Boudreaux. Does Attorney Don Boudreaux have your permission to stand in for Attorney Takash?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pierre, your attorney is Mr. Todd Takash. Mr. Takash is not present. However, standing in for Mr. Takash is Attorney Don Boudreaux. Does Attorney Don Boudreaux have your permission to stand in for Attorney Todd Takash? Yes. Okay. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, you provided the court with a copy of a letter from Mr. Pierre's doctor. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It was sent to Mr. Tosh.
Okay.
He sent it to the court.
Okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Pierre, what we need to do is, I'm looking at the letter. I'm not going to read this letter out aloud because we are appearing on Zoom, and we have people in the presence, who are present in court, and this is medical information which is non-public, and so we're not going to disclose that at this time. But Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement in Mr. Pierre's case?
Your Honor, we would, it was an appeal, and if he was able to be here, I would think that we would try to resolve it with a small fine and pay the court costs if he's so able to do so.
And that is the state's offer.
Okay. Now, without going into any details about your medical situation, I think Mr. Pierre, just for a moment, I think did he make an appearance here before?
Sir,
Mr. Pierre, did you make an appearance in person in this court?
none to my knowledge.
Can you hear me?
Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Have you ever appeared in this court in person?
No, I don't, the since I was done, but now, I got a stroke. My right side and my right side is getting more.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's why.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, Mr. Pierre, the case is going to be reset to give the state and your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, an opportunity to talk and to see if something can be worked out, involving your medical situation. But in the meantime, we're going to reset this case to see whether or not you'll be able to recover from your medical situation. The court is praying that you have a speedy recovery and a full recovery. And so, Mr. Boudreaux, this is not an old case. So we can reset this case. Maybe we can reset it about 60 days. And then we'll revisit the case on that date.
Yes, we fine, sir.
Okay, let's give us a reset.
Your trial office.
No, not on, let's, yeah, okay, I guess doing it in August, what? What is it?
On your trial.
Yes,
The fifth.
August 5th?
Yes.
Okay, this case will be reset for jury trial on August 5th, 2024. Mr. Pierre, stay in contact with your attorneys. And this will conclude your case. Your case is reset to August 5th, 2024 in County Court at Law number 2 at 9 a.m. Stay in contact with your bondsman and your attorney. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. And again, the court is praying that you have a full and speedy recovery from your medical condition. Mr. Pierre?
Yeah.
Okay, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll get your reset. Once you get your reset, Mr. Boudreaux, you're free to go out and you have a blessed day as well. August 5th of 2024. You're gonna get your reset. Okay, now, Mr. Ross, I have before me a motion to dismiss your misdemeanor case. Big, is that correct, State?
That's correct.
You pled on a felony case. And as I mentioned earlier, I see you have, some folks here with you.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know, a lot of times, you know, we all have friends, all right? And, it's not uncommon for, people to say that, you know, that's my friend, that person has my back. Okay. And, to a certain degree, a lot of us believe that, you know, the person who is our friend have our back.
Right.
But this has been my experience from, I guess, being involved in the criminal justice system, as an attorney, as a judge, that a lot of times when people say that their friends have their back, they usually tend to think that even no matter how bad things may get or how low a person may get, that person will be, their friends will be there for them. That's what they believe. But on days like today, when you could be at your lowest point, right? When you have one foot out of the jail and another foot in the jail, and the foot that's out of jail is on a banana peeling, okay? Which means you can slip back into jail, okay? Your friends are not here, okay? The reason why your friends are not here is because they really not your friends, okay? Somebody say everybody not your friend, everybody not your partner, okay? But when your mom and your family say they got you, they got you. Okay? That's why they're here. And you need to understand that. Well, Judge Davis used to say, when he's trying to get you to understand, he used to say, point at his forehead and say potatoes. Okay? And you need to understand who is your friend, who put clothes on your back, who put food on the table, who put a roof over your head. Okay? That's the persons that you need to be listening to. You know, I know a lot of times people say, you know, and my mom and my dad, they old. They don't know what they talking about. They don't know what they talking about. Where you going, they already been. Okay? You looking forward, if you're in a vehicle, they looking through their rearview mirror. They already been there, done that. And so when they try to give you some advice to help you, they're not talking about what they think. They're talking about what they know.
Right.
Okay? And so that's why you can learn from, we call it OPE, other people's experience. Okay? And so you need to listen to those people that God has put around you and your family, as your mom, whoever your parents, your guardians, because they have your best interests at heart. Okay. Now, I do know that you had a situation in another court. You can put that behind you. Okay. A lot of times people have you to believe that, well, once you get in trouble, it's all over. No, it's not. Okay. We've all made mistakes. We've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Right. But the person that you are today, if you do the things that you are required to do, you can change that. You can be a different person. Okay. You know, one day they may hate you, be hated. The next day you'll be celebrated. Okay. It all depends on the choices that you make in life. Life is hard for everybody. You know, not just you. You know, we've all come from a mighty long way. But you can, your present situation is not your permanent destination. Okay, where you are today doesn't mean that you will stay here. You don't have to stay here. It's up to you. Okay. So again, you know, look at those people that you have back there with you, and thank God that you have somebody with you, because a lot of people show up, they don't have nobody. Okay, they don't have nobody at all, but you do have somebody, and you need to thank God for that. Now, this case, this misdemeanor case, as I mentioned earlier, is being dismissed. Again, you know, you're a young man. And I know I mentioned earlier, you said, I mentioned earlier about how people say, you know, they don't want to listen to people because they old. But let me tell you this, old is the goal. Okay? We all desire to be old one day. Old is the goal. All right. So just continue to listen to those folks, and you'll turn this around. All right. So you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, your dismissal. Yeah, once you get your dismissal, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too.
All right, you're welcome. All right, and make everybody proud. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome, and just continue to stay with it. All right.
We all be God, so I will.
That's right.
God bless y'all.
Y'all have a blessed day as well.
From Louisiana, Judge, you heard that accent. We is.
Where, what
What
part?
part? New Orleans.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the Desire, I was raised in the Ninth Ward, Desire Housing Projects.
My mom them from over that way. We came on the West Bank when we was younger.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom them from over that way. My mom,
Yeah.
my mother and everybody from there.
Graduated from George Washington Carver High School.
Okay, they went to Booker T and stuff.
Booker
like that,
T,
yeah.
Washington, that's where my mom graduated from.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lions, Booker T, Washington, yeah.
All right, small world.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Y'all have a safe trip.
All right, thank you.
All right. Court of Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 2436. Case is style the state of Texas versus Jose Bobino. Ms. Bobino, is that your full name?
Yes,
Ms. Bobino, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Bobino, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
yes.
Ms. Bobino, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Bobino?
Okay.
That's good. Ms. Bobino, I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Excuse me. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Or are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes,
I also have another document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. Do you recognize this document?
yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Signature, is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bobino, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand
That's
what you
my
read?
knowledge. Yes. that's my
And
knowledge.
is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bobino, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska will be given information to contact you, and you will be given information to contact him.
Oh,
Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to go. Now, before she gives you that information, I need to give you this paperwork back, just and that's that Josie Bobino?
yes.
Yes. Yes, most of, did you hand what's back to her, where those stickers are? Needs to be filled out. And the same one, what it says, at the bottom, executed, I think it asks for the county Jefferson. Here you go, that's gonna be a one page.
Yes.
And she has to put the date on them. Jefferson County Court at law number 2 will be in recess.